Have you ever wondered what happens after a hacker breaks into a cloud account? How far can they go without being noticed? Today, we're going to explore one of the most dangerous techniques in cloud security, cloud lateral movement. Welcome to Bluehat Cybersec Academy. Cloud computing has completely transformed the way businesses operate. It gives companies scalability, flexibility, and cost efficiency like never before. But as more organizations migrate their workloads to the cloud, attackers are finding new ways to exploit it. One of the most dangerous techniques in cloud attacks is called lateral movement. This is the method attackers use to expand their access once they've breached the initial perimeter. Understanding lateral movement in the cloud is crucial, not just for security teams, but also for DevOps engineers and IT decision makers. So let's dive in and see exactly what it is, how attackers execute it, and what strategies organizations can use to detect and prevent it. What is lateral movement in the cloud? In cybersecurity terms, lateral movement is when an attacker moves across a network after gaining initial access, aiming to reach more sensitive resources. But the cloud is different from traditional networks. Cloud environments are dynamic, distributed, and multi-tenant, which makes lateral movement harder to track and potentially much more dangerous. For example, imagine an attacker compromises a single cloud account or finds a vulnerable API. From there, they move horizontally to other services, storage buckets, virtual machines, or even other cloud accounts. With each step, they can escalate privileges and increase control. The end result: data theft, service disruption, or even a full cloud compromise. How attackers move inside cloud environments. Attackers use a mix of techniques and tools to navigate these systems. First, they often exploit misconfigured permissions. Platforms like AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud rely heavily on role-based access control, or RBAC. Misconfigurations, like overly permissive IAM roles or public storage buckets, allow attackers to move between resources. For example, if a compromised user has admin privileges for a storage service, the attacker could pivot to compute resources or sensitive databases. Another method is abusing service accounts. These accounts automate tasks and often have high privileges. If attackers steal credentials from service accounts, they can move laterally without triggering login alerts. Service accounts are a goldmine because they often bypass standard multi-factor authentication protections. Credential theft and reuse is also common. Once inside the cloud, attackers hunt for credentials stored in environment variables, configuration files, or cloud metadata services. They then reuse these credentials to access additional resources and escalate privileges. Attackers also exploit vulnerabilities in APIs. Cloud services communicate extensively through APIs, and weaknesses, like weak authentication or insufficient rate limiting, allow attackers to manipulate or move between services. Lateral movement through APIs can easily go unnoticed if monitoring is insufficient. Pivoting through identity federation is another tactic. Many organizations integrate multiple cloud providers or connect on-premise systems with the cloud. Identity federation links accounts across these systems, so if attackers gain access to one environment, they can pivot through federated identities to compromise another. Detecting lateral movement requires good monitoring and anomaly detection. Some key indicators include unusual logins across regions or services, access from unexpected IP addresses, creation of new service accounts or role modifications, unexpected data transfers between resources, and API calls outside normal patterns. Best practices to prevent lateral movement in the cloud are, honestly, super important. Organizations can reduce lateral movement risk with a proactive security approach. There are several best practices that can make a huge difference. First, always follow the principle of least privilege. Give users, applications, and services only the permissions they need, and regularly audit IAM roles and policies to shrink the attack surface. Second, monitor and analyze cloud activity. Use cloud-native logging and SIEM tools to detect anomalies and employ behavioral analytics to reveal unusual access patterns. Third, secure service accounts and secrets. Use vaults and secret management solutions, rotate secrets frequently, and avoid hard-coding credentials in scripts or code. Fourth, segment your cloud environment. Virtual networks, subnets, and firewalls can limit movement between critical systems. Segmentation helps contain breaches. Fifth, enable multi-factor authentication everywhere. MFA can stop attackers from easily using stolen credentials to move laterally. Extend MFA to service accounts wherever possible. And finally, conduct regular penetration testing. Simulate attacks on your cloud infrastructure to find vulnerabilities. Red team exercises can reveal lateral movement paths before attackers exploit them. Cloud lateral movement is a sophisticated technique that lets attackers expand their reach and compromise critical assets. Unlike traditional network attacks, it exploits dynamic infrastructure, misconfigurations, and identity weaknesses. By understanding attacker methods and implementing strong security practices, organizations can reduce risk, detect threats early, and safeguard their cloud environments. Vigilance, monitoring, and proactive defense are the keys to preventing attackers from moving laterally and turning a small breach into a full-scale incident. Now, let's make this interactive. Here's a quick challenge for you. What's the most common way attackers move between cloud services? Why are service accounts a high-risk target for lateral movement? Name one cloud security measure that can stop lateral movement in its tracks. Take a moment to think about your answers and drop them in the comments below. We'd love to see how sharp your cloud security skills are. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth cloud security content. And don't miss our cloud security playlist, where we cover everything from basics to advanced defense strategies. Stay safe, stay curious, and keep protecting your cloud environments.